Hello friends, I welcome you all to this online session of Compulsory English, BSc Part First. In the last few sessions, we were discussing Satish K. Tripathi's convocation speech, Putting Data to Effective Use, delivered at IIT Kanpur in 2016. So this lecture, though it is only meant for the students who are graduating from IIT, it is also very important to understand that this essay or this convocation speech that is prescribed to us is very significant as he is giving us certain advices, certain principles that is helpful for us to get success in any field. So it is a very general thing that he is giving us. So in the last session, we have started with the first principle that he has given us, the advice that he has given us, that is setting long-term ambition. This is the first principle that Satish K. Tripathi asks us to adapt. And this advice is very important because most of us, especially as a Indian students, what we were doing, we were not setting a long-term goals, but we were setting the goals which are meant for on a day purpose, for the day purpose, or for a week, or for a year. You can see most of us were thinking of passing or clearing the second semester of a BSc Part First. So this is what he is objecting. He is asking us to set long-term ambition. And while understanding, and he is also giving us advice that though we have set a long-term ambition, we should be flexible in that. If while pursuing this long-term ambition, if other opportunities come up, you should pursue them, you should realize them and get a success in them. Similarly, he also gave us the example of himself that he was first uh, set an ambition that be a principal of a high school like his father. But afterwards, in his career, in his academic career, you can see he get different kinds of opportunities, and he pursued it. The mentors, peers of Satish K. Tripathi motivate him to realize these uh, opportunities, and as a result of that, you can see he is now a academic leader of Buffalo University, one of the research institute which is highly influential research institute in fact in the United States. So this is what we can see a this achievement is really great in itself. So you can see he has set a goal, set an ambition to be a principal of high school like father, but eventually by pursuing other opportunities coming up during this his course of or his academic career, he becomes a academic leader of Buffalo University, one of the leading research institutes in America, south part of America. So you can understand that this is what he is asking us. So let's continue with the same. So the first principle we learn is that set a long-term goal. Then uh, that brings me to my second principle: be self-reliant, but always seek out the opportunities to learn from the with from and with others. So this is also very important thing to understand. So what is self-reliant? Self-reliant means you should take your own decisions. Most of us were not doing the same thing. What we were doing, we were relying on peers, we were relying on teachers, we were relying on uh, parents, and as they decide, most of the things that is important in our life were decided by the parents, teachers, and peers. We were only the blind followers. This is what happening with us. And why this is happening with us? Because we are afraid of taking the responsibility of the decisions that we were taking individually. So the Satish K. Tripathi has understood this particular point, and he asking us to be a self-reliant. So we should be a self-reliant one. We should take our own decisions. We should think about our own life instead of asking others to take decisions, asking others to take the responsibility of your life. You should take the responsibility of your own. and this should be started in the very early age. You can see today's world, especially even in India, in urban centers where the schools, international schools were established. You can see the students who were learning in sixth standards, seventh standards, they were saying that I want to be an aviation engineer, I want to be a meteorologist. So we don't know even the career perspectives or the career avenues that they were wants to pursue. So this is what the situation today, and this is what the difference between rural and urban. So rural area students, especially the students who were learning in my institute, you can see what they were doing. They were only concentrating on the examinations. They were only concentrating on what their peers were doing, what teachers were asking to do them, what parents wish to do, wish for them. So all these things you can see, they never judge their own capacity, they never judge what they really want to do, and they never go to realize their dreams. Even most of the students never dream at all. So, this is what the reality, and therefore, I told you that this speech, though it is delivered at IIT Kanpur, graduating students, it is also very relevant to us also. So, this is the second principle he is given us. At the same time, as he is giving the first principle that you should set long-term ambition, and at the same time he also give us advice that though you have set the long-term ambition, you should be flexible and pursue the other opportunities that come up during the course. While prescribing the second principle or giving the second principle, he again give us advice that she asks us to be a self-reliant, but at the same time, he also says that always seek out the opportunity to learn from and with others. So this is what you can see is the important thing. We should learn from others. We should be a good observer. We should be a good reader. We should be a good listener. What we were doing, we were rejecting all these things. We have shut close the windows of eyes, windows of ears, and as a result of that, we never understand, we never experience, we never have an exposure, and as a result of that, we never get a real knowledge. So, this is what is happening with us. We should very clear about it. We should think about it that what we were doing, we were only following others. So, though you are a self reliant, you should seek the opportunities of learning from or with others. So, this is the important thing to note. So, as a college student in India and later as a graduate student overseas, he is giving us his own experience as he has given us his own experience while exploring the first principle. So, as a college student in India and later as a graduate student overseas, I found that the opportunity to exchange new ideas and discoveries with other intellectually curious, energized students helped to shape my path in profound and lasting way. So this is what you can see. He is saying that the exchange of ideas also shape his path to be a successful person. So this is he is suggesting that you should learn from others. You should see the successful people, what they were doing, what kind of path they. I am not saying that you should go and follow them blindly. Sadisket Tripathi is not also intending that you should go and follow them blindly, but you should see, you should learn from them, how they were behaving, how they were going, how they were taking decisions, how they were realizing their dreams. All these things becomes important while pursuing the success. So this is what he is saying, that you should learn from others, and he give us his own experiences that his own path is also shaped by the energized, curious intellectuals from he learned with him, with them he learned. So India's great institutions, including your own, have produced the top leaders in the academy, in the professions, and in business and industry today. Of course, yes, you can see IITs have a very profound influence even on the economy, even on the administration of the nation. Today, we have the leaders of professions, business, and industries who were the IIT graduates. Even most of the multinational companies were run by these IIT graduates. The opportunity you have had to engage with some of these great thinkers will surely open up new horizons for you as it did for me. Of course, yes, many times it happens with you. If even you can see most of the students were accompanied with the teachers, they were always in the company of teachers, and you will understand that they automatically in the eventually they get success. So this is what company of a great person, company of a great personalities is also very important. You should follow them, you should think about them, you should be with them and learn from them. This is what is the important. I am firm believer that the truly big ideas and important discoveries take place at the interaction of fields. Of course, yes. You can understand that important discoveries take place when intersection of fields. You can see this is the thing. And today's world is also a multidisciplinary world. It is not a monodisciplinary world. So this intersection of fields involve many minds working together, approaching the same problem from different angles. Of course, as when we were thinking in a multiple perspective, you can see we bring up a very valid solution to the problem. So this intersection of field is very important. So we should think in that perspective. So instead of thinking from one perspective, we should train our mind to think from multiple perspectives. And when we were interacting with others, when we were thinking, discussing our problem with others, you can see you will gain different kinds of perspective to the same problem, and it will give you an insight into the problem, and this insight will bring up a very valid solution to that problem. Or I am not only thinking about the problem, but when we learn a new thing and when we discuss it with others, you can understand that your perception, you will alter your perception, and your perception will be a valid one. So this is what is the important thing that we should understand. Then India's sorry. Uh, So these big ideas and important discoveries take place at the intersection of fields. They involve many minds working together, approaching the same problem from different angles. Here at IIT Kanpur, you have learned the great value of sharing ideas and information across disciplines. This is the basis for nearly all the important discoveries emerging from the world's labs, studios, and clinics today. Of course, yes, this is what the reality is. No matter how brilliant your idea, be sure to test it against other theories. So, this is also very important. Many times it happens with us that we feel that what we were thinking is a brilliant one, but we should judge it in context of others' thinking, others' opinion, others' theories. That will automatically give you the real thing, real judgment. So be sure to test it against other theories and look at it from other vantage points. This is the important thing. From others' point of view, you should think about it. Many times, even I always suggest that when you write it down, you should ask others to read it once, and then get the suggestions and then reshape it. So you will understand that you will get a different insight in your writing. Uh, so, and look at it from other vantage points. It will almost certainly be even stronger for that. Of course, being willing to step outside of your own perspective and open your work up to the criticism of others requires a certain amount of risk. And that is the final principle I would like to share with you today. Plan strategically, carefully, but always be willing to take risks. So, this is the last principle he gives us, that is willing to take risk. But before that, he also gives us one advice that you should be open for the criticism. Most of us, when I ask you to write something in a classroom and I go to see, most of the students close their notebooks. They don't want that I should see what they have written. So this is what they were not open for criticism. We should be open for criticism, and when we were open for criticism, we will get a perfection. Otherwise we cannot get a perfection. And the last principle that he has given us is, we should be strategic in planning, but we should always willing to take risks. We were not taking the risk. We were always restricting ourselves within the safe zone. If I ask you, I give you in the last session also, if I ask you to go to the Sangli or go to the Kolhapur and bring something, immediately you will ask to your peer or your elder brother to accompany with you to Sangli and then bring what I have asked to you. So this is what you require a company. Why you require a company? Because you don't have confidence. You don't want to take risk. You want to be in a safe zone, and for that purpose you require a company. So this is what you should understand. In simple words, you should be like a tiger. You should go for hunting. Instead of hunting in group, you should hunt individually. So this is what is advice given by Satish K. Tripathi. He asks us to be willing for to take risks. Then see, I took a risk in the 1970s when I ventured outside the established field of statistics to explore computer science. So he also take a risk from going from shifting from statistics, that was the established branch of knowledge, to a computer science, which was a new branch in 1970s comparative to statistics, at a time when only a handful of scholars were working in this field. I took another risk when I left India to continue my graduate studies in Canada. So this is also very daring one, to going to the Canada in another state, in another, with another language, with another culture, another food, living there, pursuing a degree in graduation. All these things are very daring one. So he take a risk and go to Canada to pursue his graduation. And over the course of my academic career, I have ventured into unknown again and again. Sorry, unknown again and again, from my first faculty position at University of Maryland to launching a new engineering school in California, to the University of Buffalo, where I had the opportunity to help lead a major research university on the international uh, broad borders. So this is what you can see. He is not only sticking to one job, that is University of Maryland. Most of us think that if we get a job, we become a very happy man living with a family. We never think of a different perspective even in a career. But in Satish K. Tripathi, you can see he moved from University of Maryland to the launching engineering school in California, then moving to the Buffalo, shifting jobs and achieving different positions at different international national institutes. So this is what he is willing to take risks, shifting himself. I served as provost of the University of Buffalo of for 7 years, and I have served as a president for more than 5 years now. So you can see he has a very illustrative career in Buffalo University, and I am very pleased to tell you that every day new opportunities present themselves. Of course, yes, you can see. Of course, there is a no magic formula for success. There comes a point when each of us must choose our own way. You are at the point right now. So this is what he is giving advice. Success is not a magical formula. There is no magical formula to get success. You should choose your own path. You are ready to chart your own course forward. building on the knowledge and first principle you have learned as a student here, that is uh, setting goals. Today's world is very much global one. Of course, yes, we discuss this. And as a graduates of a global university with an international reputation, you are very well positioned to lead and contribute in this world. As a graduates, you are ready to make a profound difference as the next generation of global leaders in your fields, here in India and around the world. Congratulations and all best wishes for much success. So this is what the end of his convocation speech. So you can understand that though this speech is delivered at the IIT Kanpur, it is very much relevant to us. We have completed this speech by Satish K. Tripathi. He is asking that putting data to effective use is a great challenge to us because we don't have analytical faculty, or intellectuals who can analyze data for us and put them to use. So this is what we learn. So in the next session, we will begin with module number seven, that is English for advertising. So, I advise you read this if it is possible for you. It is not very difficult one; it is very easy one. We will stop here and continue the same in the next session. Thank you. Thank you for